So let's do some examples, some one-step examples using this new way of solving problems called dimensional analysis or factor label or unit conversion, where in these problems I am given a measurement in a particular unit and I need to convert it to a different unit, and how I can use the factor label method or unit conversion to do that. So in this first example, I have a number that is in meters and I need to go to centimeters. So I look at that and I say, meters, I see meters here. Oh, centi, I remember from the SI prefix chart that centi, 1 centi whatever, which in this case is meters, is 10 to the negative 2 of my base unit, which is meters. So I write down the information that's given, which is 154.5. I write down the number and the unit. I give myself some space to work the problem. I write down that conversion factor in the form of a fraction, and I write it so that my meter unit is on the bottom because I want that unit to cancel with my meter unit that's in my given. I write the unit that I'm looking for, which is centimeters, in the numerator. And so doing that, I can see that my meter units cancel. So in your calculator, and again, every calculator, depending on the brand, is a little different, but the rule is that numbers in the numerator are on top, get multiplied. Numbers that are in the denominator get divided. So in this case, we would do 154.5. You can go ahead and multiply by 1 if you want, but it's still going to be 154.5. 154.5. Then you're going to divide, and I know I'm going to divide because of this line here. That means divide by 1 times 10 to the negative 2. So you're going to use your skills here in putting in numbers in scientific notation. But 154.5 divide by 1 times 10 to the negative 2. And the answer that you should get should be 15,450. And again, so I wrote down the number and the unit associated with that. And I note that in this number, how many sig figs do I have? I have a total of 4 sig figs. There's no decimal there. So I have 4 sig figs, and that's good because when I multiply or divide, my final answer can only have the same number of sig figs as my smallest previous. This has a total of 4 sig figs, so my final answer can only have 4. Conversion factors have infinite number of sig figs. So as our problems get a little larger, I'm not going to be as picky about number of sig figs for your final answer, but for this chapter, I'm going to be picky on that you express your final answer with the correct number of sig figs. Since I'm multiplying, I care about number of sig figs of my least precise measurement. This has 4. My conversion factor is exact, so it has infinite number of sig figs. So my final answer should have 4. So that is the first example. Let's talk about the second example. I have a number and a unit in centimeters, so I write that down. I need to convert to inches. And so looking at the table from the previous slide, that's also in your book, I see that there's exactly 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. And so I write that equivalency as a conversion factor so that my centimeter units cancel. So that means 2.54 centimeters is in the denominator or on the bottom. My 1 inch is in the numerator or on top. My centimeter units cancel. So in your calculator, 45.8. If you want to multiply by 1, you can, but it's just going to be 45.8. And then you're going to divide, remember, things in the denominator, that means divide by 2.54. My final answer should have a total of 3 significant figures based upon the number of sig figs in what I'm given. And so that should be 18.0. So those are two basic one-step conversion factor problems that you should feel comfortable doing.